Namaste! Story time. Remember, I was reading a true story from this book, Khaki Files, written by IPS officer Neeraj Kumar. I was telling you how Avindra Pandey and Nirbhaya went to the mall to watch a movie, The Life of Pi. How they came out, they were waiting for bus number 764 to take them to their house. When that bus did not arrive, they boarded a private bus, a, a white bus with yellow and green stripes, red seat covers, yellow curtains, and a separate driver's cabin. I was reading, they were eventually found completely naked. The Delhi police took them to the Safdarjung hospital and the investigation began. DCP Chaya Sharma was the one leading the investigation. Okay. It was 2012. Not all the shops had CCTV in those times. Nevertheless, Delhi police went about collecting CCTV footage from any shop that had a CCTV camera along the route. We collected hours and hours of CCTV footage and went through it meticulously. Sure, indeed, the bus that Avindra Pandey had described could be seen. But even in the footage, the bus was so far away that even though we zoomed in and zoomed in and zoomed in, the license plate was not visible. But when the bus took a U-turn, the other side of the bus was visible from the other side of the shop's CCTV cameras, and the name Yadav could be seen clearly painted on the bus. All the transport officials were called. Now we were simply in a city like Delhi, Gurugram included, Noida included, NCR included. We were searching for a bus, no license plate, just a bus with the given description. When we showed the CCTV, we meaning the Delhi police, when we showed the CCTV footage to Avindra Pandey, he confirmed that it was indeed the bus. On 17th December, the similar bus was said to be parked at Guru Ravidas camp. We immediately rushed to Guru Ravidas camp, and indeed, there was a bus there that matched the exact description. When we entered the bus, we were pretty sure this was the bus because it had been scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed clean. The bus smelt of phenol and washing powder. It had been washed so brightly and properly that we were sure this is the bus in which the rape had taken place. But no matter how much a criminal washes the crime scene, a little bit of evidence is always left. So a forensics team was called. The forensics team searched the whole bus and they found drops of blood. They also found a debit card belonging to Asha Devi. Asha Devi is Nirbhaya's mother. So when the debit card belonging to Asha Devi was found, it was confirmed that this was the bus. We had the bus. Now we just had to find the 6 people who were in the bus. Meanwhile, while we were so busy tracking the bus and tracking the 6 people, and trying to arrest them as quickly as possible, something else entirely was going on behind the scenes. One of my seniors, my means IPS officer Neeraj Kumar, okay? One of my seniors had a bitter grouse against me for a very simple reason. I had bypassed him in promotion. I had proven myself on a couple of cases, and though he was my senior, I had bypassed him to a promotion. This retired IPS officer, a once upon time colleague, wrote a big article in a prominent Delhi newspaper with the headline, "Sack Him." At the time of writing this book, that colleague is dead, but I still have that article with me. "Sack Him" was the title of that article, and it was written by somebody who was at one time my friend. He was not feeling sorry for Nirbhaya. He was just using this episode to take his grouse out against me. In the meanwhile, a press conference was called on 18th December. I was told to attend the press conference. and all the journalists had turned anti police. We were trying to explain to them that we had located the bus, we had arrested four of the suspects. Two suspects were remaining, and we were on their trail and we were going to arrest them very soon. And we had found the bus and arrested the four suspects despite having bare minimum clues. And we were doing a good job, but none of the journalists were even willing to listen. And they kept making all sorts of allegations against the Delhi police. Meanwhile, in between all this, there was more politics. The chief minister of Delhi was Sheila Dikshit. I, I meaning Neeraj Kumar, I was not her personal choice for this post, for the post of Delhi Commissioner of Police. She had somebody else in mind, but I had gotten the job, so she nursed a grudge against me. She took a team of MLAs to the house of the Union Home Minister and requested him to sack me. I was summoned by the Union Home Minister to his residence. When I went there, he was surprised and he asked me, Neeraj Kumar, why is Sheila Dikshit so staunchly against you? She came with a team of MLAs and demanded your ouster. I was surprised. I went to her office the next day. I met Sheila Dikshit and I said, Madam, what is it that you have against me? She made some inconclusive remark saying, You have taken action against constables and head constables. She mumbled some illogical answer without giving any concrete answer as to why she wanted my ouster. Although four of the six accused had been arrested, arresting Akshay, the last one, proved to be very tricky. This Akshay, whose full name was Akshay Kumar Singh, aka Akshay Kumar Thakur, ran away to his native village. There he was advised to further run away to a village called Tandwa. Now, why was he advised to hide in this particular village? Because this particular village was a Naxal infected village. This village had a lot of Naxal sympathizers and many Naxal activists. So he was told to hide there because there, in that Naxalist village, he would be safe. Nevertheless, we knew where he was. I sent one of my best inspectors, Inspector Ritu Raj, to arrest Akshay. I'll skip the details, but Akshay was arrested. From that village, the nearest airport was Varanasi. And against my advice and against the advice of the Bihar police, Rituraj decided to drive down from the Naxal village to Varanasi at night, not waiting to take a chance till morning because he thought that if the news spreads, it would become even more difficult to bring this accused back. So, literally risking their lives, they drove through several kilometers of Naxal infected area back to Varanasi just to catch the first available flight and bring this Akshay home. But despite all this, it was not the end. The Although Delhi had been granted statehood, the Delhi police was still under the Home Ministry. The Delhi state government wanted to use this as an excuse to wrest the control of the Delhi police from the Home Ministry. Meanwhile, a newly launched political party calling itself the Common Man's Party. I repeat, he has not named the party, but Common Man's Party. Noki saw this as an incident where they could garner a lot of media publicity. This party is especially fond of media publicity. They love to be on TV all the while. So this party decided to hold demonstrations here, there and everywhere just so that they could be on TV 24/7. I'll continue.